Hey coin collectors and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Today it's the 1984 Roosevelt dime from the United States of America. We've got a couple of them here. These are both Philadelphia mint dimes. And remember, the dimes have all the mint marks on them. Philadelphia doesn't skip the mint mark on the dime. They put it right there. And so there's the P there and there's the P there. And you can see these are in wildly different conditions. How many did they make at Philadelphia in 1984? 857 million. You get one like this here on the left, and if you can get it up to MS65, it's going to be worth about $4. So not huge money. And you'll notice as we kind of magnify this that the level of work on this is not the greatest ever. You see it's a little bit soft here. The I and the W aren't so great. Roosevelt looks great though, doesn't he? And this rim is this rim that just kind of wears off. And I've seen more of this in the 1984 than I've seen in probably any other dime. I'll show you what I mean. If you get a circulating one, it often looks like this. So the rim's there, but for some reason this part of the rim wears down. And I don't see any real reason for it other than when they made them, that they did something maybe a little different. But I've seen hundreds of these with the right side rim worn down. And of course, the I and the E is the same, and that L, all the same. Even on the best coins, the L and the I there, and the I and the E there are kind of worn out looking. This is a clad coin, copper nickel clad copper coin. And on the back, this is where the money is on this one. If you look through it, you can just see it says United States of America around the top. It says one dime here. Across the middle here it says E pluribus unum. And one of the things that I've noticed more and more is this U here kind of blends in on the 1984s. This is all, everything is stuck together on the PLU, including sometimes the dot. None of these ones touch here, but this one here almost always touches the olive branch, that U there. This has pretty good lines on the torch. The bands on the top aren't great, but you can see some pretty good distinction. Bands on the bottom pretty good, and going up and down pretty good, and even down here at the bottom. The one on the right's actually a little bit more my favorite. I like the other one better because it has, I love these doubled rims. So if we look at this one, we see that there's a little doubling there of the rim where it kind of almost looks like they put two pieces together and they didn't fit. And so right there, that doubling of the rim, I always save these doubled rim ones out. They're not hugely valuable either, but you can definitely see even on this one how flat and big this side of the rim is and how small and thin this side. And that's something that comes with these. Down here at the bottom it says In God We Trust. Down here there's a J and an S, and that's for John Sinek, who's the engraver of this coin. And we often get these fours that kind of get flattened out. Another thing I wanted to show you is the P's. People don't think about it that much, but in 1984 the P's were just worn out. So you can see these P's, and in fact they were so worn out that let me show you the 1985 P. They came out with new ones. So look at the difference between the P here for Philadelphia and those P's there. So in 1984 they continued to use the worn out ones and they looked really messy. 1985 they came out with a new one. It's actually bigger, much more capable of seeing the P on there. You know, sometimes they just use them until they wear out and then they get a new one, and the difference is striking. All right, what kind of coins did they make in 1984? Well, they made the Philly. Then, of course, they made the Denver, and here's a Denver one here. This is probably MS65. You can actually see some of the, once in a while on these, you can actually see some of the eyebrows on Roosevelt. And see right above his eye there, and you can kind of see a little bit of hair back here down by his neck. That dimple on the chin is from another coin hitting it. Won't make a big difference, but notice again we have the thin rim here, the thick rim here, no doubling, and the I and the E and that L up there are all a little soft. Pretty good distance here between the 4 and the rim, and down there the D looks great. We tipped this one over, and again, so this Y is probably closer to MS65. So here's the deal. Are we going to spend $18 to $20 getting this evaluated by PCGS or NGC to get them to label it an MS65, at which point it'll be worth $4. Probably not. They made $705 million at Denver. So $857 million at Philly, $705 million at Denver, and here's kind of the star of the show for 1984. Unfortunately, they made a lot of Proof 70 DCAMs, and this is Deep Cameo. This is probably close to a Proof 70. The Proof 70 goes on the price guide from PCGS between $18 and $30, sometimes as much as $50. So we'll keep our DCAMs from the Proof sets from 1984 just so we can use them. What a beautiful rim. You never see that kind of shine hardly. And then we get to the back and we see that, you know, it's just the regular 1984 back. This is about as good as it gets. Still over there we get a little bit touching, and these letters all blend together, and the dot does touch the P, but we seem to have separation everywhere else. And so that's kind of what we're looking at when we're looking at the 1984. This one here is worth $4+. That's all we have today from DC Coinwell International Coin Channel. There's our 1984S. There's our 1984P. And let's find that 1984D and look at it one more time. It's hidden somewhere here. Right there. Have a great day from DC Coinwell International Coin Channel.